We begin in Kenya, where climate scientists say global warming is behind a looming humanitarian crisis. The drought has ravaged harvests across the north, where rain hasn't fallen for more than a year. And aid groups are warning that more than 2 million people are at risk of starving. Children are one of the groups most vulnerable to food shortages. DW's East Africa correspondent Mariel Müller has this report from Marsabit, which contains some distressing images.
These mothers have walked for hours to reach this health facility. They want to have their babies checked.
Some of these babies are severely malnourished, and their mothers who are breastfeeding them haven't been able to eat properly in weeks. Now they are being registered here at this health facility, and they hope to receive nutrition supplements.
One of them is Adikeno. His upper arm circumference shows that he is severely malnourished. His mother has only eaten maize meal for weeks now, so her breast milk doesn't have enough nutrients for her baby.
It gives me great pain. My baby is 2.5 years old and he's too weak to stand up.
Health worker Silamo has seen a stream of undernourished children here in the past months. And there are many other children who remain without help out there.
Due to distance, not all malnourished children come here. Because of the distance, we can't reach out to all of them. It really makes me feel bad.
Nearly 1 in 5 young children in Marsabit County are considered malnourished. Life in the arid region has always been hard, but now Marsabit hasn't seen rain for a whole year. Climate change is said to be partly responsible for that, and it's the children who are suffering.
There is a strong relationship between climate change and the malnutrition, and especially if already there has been malnutrition, then it escalates by increasing the numbers and also the severity.
The frequency and severity of droughts in this region is expected to get worse due to climate change. A disaster for local pastoralists. Their livelihoods depend entirely on their animals. This camel herder tells us he's been looking for water for his camels for 2 days now, in vain. And these women often have to wait a whole day just to get water. Now there's less water flowing out of the tap. And that's a day they cannot spend searching for food. That is, when food is available at all. Selina Musa has hardly anything to feed her son.
It's painful, but I have to accept it. I can't feed him properly to give him what he needs to grow.
The young mother hopes the rains will finally return.
Well, Landry Ninteretse is Africa Regional Director of environmental organisation 350.org. I asked him if it's now too late for Africa's drought-stricken regions, even if industrialised countries were able to meet their Paris climate goals inside a year.
Definitely for the situation to normalise, it could take more than a year, first of all. But
it's going to take. We know it's going to take decades and decades. But what I'm saying is, and that this is the heart of my question. I just wonder if it's too late, even if it's going to take industrialised countries something like, I don't know, let's say 10, 20 years to turn this boat around, right? Africa doesn't appear to have enough time for that to happen.
No, there's not enough time, clearly. There's not enough time because we have those millions of people who are suffering, and for them, they need immediate and urgent action. So with the COP happening, starting this Sunday, it's no longer really commitment or the pledges that people are after, but really fulfilling the previous pledges that were made to support countries like Kenya to address the urgent needs that we are seeing on the ground.
So that's to do with addressing what's happening now. That's to do with just doing the best with what we've got rather than turning things around, yes? OK.
Absolutely. I mean, there are two ways of addressing this. First of all, save what we have to save at the moment, because we have millions of people whose lives are really on the brink. And second, making sure that we stabilize the situation. What does it mean? Making sure that there are no more funding to the fossil fuel industry, because that's the one which has been historically largely responsible for the current catastrophic climate change we are in.
OK, so that would be your message to leaders at G20 and at COP26, yes?
Absolutely. Stop funding any fossil fuel, because every single dollar or pound or euro added to this industry means killing those people who have not caused this crisis, however, who are the primary victim of it.
Right. Briefly, the one thing that Africa does have in abundance is sunshine and minerals. Are we seeing much African investment in renewable energy?
There is a growing investment in renewable energy, and that could adequately replace the narrative that Africa needs fossil fuel to develop. Africa can very well sustain and satisfy its growing energy need by tapping into renewables, and that's the kind of investment we're encouraging and supporting, because it can resolve the double crisis of climate change and also energy poverty, and also create jobs as well.
All right, good talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Lindre Ninteretse from 350.org.